So as you go up, you want to angle it out. And as you go down in the blend, you kind of want to angle it towards yourself or towards or have it flat on your client's head. What's going on YouTube? Today we have a high taper for y'all. We're going to do a high taper. We're going to keep the high taper kind of low, a low high taper. So, and our client does have waves. So we're doing it on the wavy hair texture. But yeah, we ain't really gonna hold y'all too long. This is nice, simple steps. If y'all follow through with these steps, y'all know if y'all practice enough or whatever, you can get haircuts just as fine as this. But we ain't gonna really hold y'all too long. We're gonna jump straight into the video. So obviously, we are doing the client consultation, me telling y'all about the haircut. I was sitting here combing the hair out, basically lifting everything from up the scalp. So to go ahead and get rid of these areas, or this spot, because everything that we're cutting off, we won't no longer be using, or we won't have to cut everything or take everything down with the 1.5 guard if it's not physically there. So we're not taking our time going way down here and whatnot. So right now we're sending our first guideline with our trimmer. A hot taper is known for being in this area, this particular area right here. A low taper, you would have kept the C cup or kept this little curve right here and made the first guideline around this area right here. A high taper, you usually want to take it from the bottom of the box all the way down to the top of his ear, or the lower part of his ear. So what I was talking about, when setting in the high taper, you want to make sure this is the bottom of the box, right here. I'm trying to get to a very good spot. Right here, this is the bottom of his vertical bar, where his C cup is about to start. So this right here is the bottom of his box. And you don't want to go straight up too high or anything like that. You want to make sure he has enough hair right here so we can get that, you know, high taper shape or high taper form. So we're going to take this and we're going to go to its lowest point, to where its thickest at, to where this part isn't curving, because you do have this spot right here where it curves for the neck area, for the neck lineup area. So right here is when it starts to curve. So we're going to make both of these two parts meet. And it's very simple. And for the back, what we're going to do for the back is just to make a straight line from one side to the other, just straight across. And we're going to flip our trimmers over, just so we don't irritate the client's skin. Very, very simple, because the neck is one of the most sensitive parts on your client's head, and you don't want to irritate it. And since our client does have waves, we're going to cut it down. Usually you'll take the client's hair down with, anybody that has waves for real, you take it down with one of the two guards, either this 1 guard or this 1.5 guard. We're going to take it down with this 1.5, just so we can keep it thick up top and still be able to show his wave progress. And this is with the level all the way closed. And notice how I'm combing through the hair as I'm cutting everything down, because they still have little pieces of hair that the clipper is not getting. Because basically, the guard is a comb for the clipper. The guard feeds the clipper blades, the hair, and sometimes it just doesn't comb through all the hair. So you have to recomb it, lift everything back up, and comb again. And this is making sure we have a nice, good foundation, so we can start setting all of our guidelines and making sure we have a blurry blend and a nice clean lineup and everything. Once I get fast, y'all be able to do this. Don't move too fast for yourselves. Work at your own pace. Alright, I have a very, very simple fading process. So the first thing you want to do with this fading process is with the level all the way open. And you want to go up. Since we want to make it as low as possible, a high taper that's low as possible, just so we can have these vertical bars right here and this line back here kind of stand out or pop out a little bit more. You want to go up only about 1/2 inch. And then you want to start closing your level, moving towards your first guideline, and you should meet up with your first guideline with what you set it in with. Usually I set it in with the clipper, with the level all the way closed, because my clipper is close to 0 gap. So that's what we're doing right here. Until we get to all the way closed. Now, since I know I cut his hair down with the 1.5 guard, I'm going to start with the number 2 guard all the way closed. And I want to start the debulking process. Going all the way up here, coming through, and just debulking, getting ready to have a nice fade. And it really doesn't take too much. It's a really fast process. Now what you want to do, you want to start working down. The next guard below the 2 guard is the 1.5 guard. The guard that we took everything down with, his hair. You still always want to start with the level all the way open. Going in the same exact shape that you set in with that first ball guideline that we set in with our trimmers. And then we want to slowly start closing the lever. Working our way down. As we work our way down, or as you close the lever, you should never be in the same exact place. You should always be moving down. As you close the lever, you should always never find yourself in the same exact place. Just move down with inside of the fade. Now we're at the place to where it's all the way closed. We move down to the next guard, which is the 1 guard. And we pick up from where we left off with the 1.5 guard. With this 1 guard, lever all the way open. Very simple. And then you start fading down. And this is a fade process I came up with by myself over time. It just takes time to find really something that works for you. You might see a couple other people, or you might watch a couple other barber pages. You might have your favorite barbers, like a couple of them, and just take little bits and pieces from them, and then you implement that into your own structure or your own system. Or if you feel like somebody's system is very good, you could just copy up their whole entire system. Because if something works, why would you want to change it? And now we're with our 1/2 guard, and we're slowly moving down. And that is a nice blend right there. If you wanted to make it more blendier or blurrier, you can use the rake down technique that I use, basically with the lever all the way open, and you just lightly tap, and you go in the same way that the hair is flowing. And I really only do these with wall seniors, no other clippers. Or I can tell y'all something else that y'all can do. This is like the next level of detailing. You want to buy a comb, a razor comb, basically. And with that razor comb, or feather comb, you can basically feather all of the hairs on the line. They have 2 different sides. And it basically makes the blend a lot smoother. And I don't like using a brush. We're going to switch back to the comb, because the comb actually lifts everything off of the scalp, so we're going to know what to cut. And with the razor comb, it's all about angles and pressure as well. You angle it more down towards the scalp or more flat, you get a more closer cut. If you angle it up like this, you get less of a closer cut. So as you go up, you want to angle it out, and as you go down in the blend, you kind of want to angle it towards yourself, or towards or have it flat on your client's head. And it's that simple. And look how clean that is. Look how clean and blurry that blend is. Very nice. Alright, so when doing the back, just to preserve his waves, or just make sure he has his waves come down about right here. So we're not going to take it higher than right here. We're only going to fade in this general area. Everything above, like right here, will probably be the 2 guard, not really interfering with what's going on in his progress. So, just like the side taper, we open up the lever all the way. Go up about 1/2 inch, and you want to make sure, because his hair wants to grow this way because he is a waver. So to cut against the grain, I have to turn my clippers to the side and fade like that. And then for right here, it's going more so straight down. So now I can fade, you know, the regular way, or just straight up and down. And then we're going to slowly close our lever, working our way down to our first guideline the way it's set in. Slowly moving down, slowly bringing that taper together. And you will get clients like their hair will grow like separate ways or different ways, and you'll just have to make that adjustment. That's why it's important that y'all watch videos, and not too many people teach about stuff like that. Not every taper is the same, not every lineup is the same, not every haircut is the same. Now with our number 2 guard, we're gonna go up, level all the way closed, and this is just the debulking stage, a debulking process. Really, me as a barber, looking at his hair, I won't really have to use the 2 guard because it's basically already debulked for me. So really, with me judging by looking at the back of his head, I won't even have to use this half guard, this 1.5 guard. But I'm still gonna work through the process with y'all. But the only thing I really have to touch will be the 1 guard's area. It's the only thing I'm thinking that I'll have to touch to make the blend look perfect. But I'm still gonna go through my same exact processes with y'all. And it's only because we're not taking it up too high, because we do not want to interfere with none of his waves or none of his progress or anything like that. Now, 1 guard, level all the way open, and then we're going to slowly work our way down, closing the level each and everywhere. And as we're fading, we're also brushing the hair, we're combing the hair, lifting the hair up off of the scalp, making sure we get a nice foundation in our blend, and making sure everything is standing up, every little piece of hair. And then we could open up our level in detail, point cut, however you want to call it. It's the same exact thing. In these little areas where it looks dark at, and now we're at our half guard. That's the smallest guard that we have. Level all the way open. Well, really I'm going to close it just a little bit. You can start with your level all the way open just to make sure. But me, as I do this process all day, every single day, I already know what I need to do. I already know what I need to do to attack the, to get this haircut exactly how I want. And we're just slowly closing the level, moving down. Same exact step, same exact system, same exact process. Until we get that final result that we want. And what we can do, take the clipper all the way off, or the guard all the way off. Start using our brush. Go halfway and just point cut. And just detail. Then after you're at the holding spray, you do want to take a blow dry and just blow dry everything in. And I use low power for cool air. When doing this liner part in the back, you don't want to dig in too much or go in too deep. But just find you a nice little spot to where in the end, it could come out as a nice curve. You don't want a lot of crazy new growth, so don't dig in too deep. But you do want that nice distinctive line up over the ear and on the neck area. You get all this excess stuff off, you just flip your clippers over and just use the other side of the blade. And that is it. With the front lineup, you do want to choose the strong side and the weak side. So our client's lineup, on his left side is his weak side. His right side is his weak side, his left side is his strong side. The strong side is the hair that grows the most hair, and the weak side is the hair that grows the least hair in the corners of the boxy area, I would say. So we're gonna take it about right here. And we're just gonna continue to line up this side, only using the right part of our clipper braid, working towards this side. And whenever we work towards that left side, we'll be using the left side of our clipper blade. I can't even talk right. And we're just working in small little steps and taking a step back, looking at the lineup, seeing our progress, seeing if we need to make any adjustments. Like right here, I need a small, tiny adjustment. It's like the small things that matter when it comes to having or perfecting a lineup. Step back, look if it's right, see if it's right. And then what you want to do, turn your client to the side, and then just connect it, making that little vertical bar on the side. And we're going to have it at a slight slant. And everything after that, or before that, just gets taken off. And all we're doing is matching this left side with the right side that we had set in. Starting from this middle center point. And this, the middle point, is where we connect everything. This is what everything is connected at. And then you just work your way using the left side of your clipper blade to this other side. Making sure you give your client a nice, straight, boxy lineup. And if anytime you're having trouble seeing the lineup or whatever, what I want to do, since I put this vertical bar right here where his eyebrows is about to, a little bit after his arc right now, or his arc right here, take it right down, set in a vertical bar, and basically just connect the dots. Connect this vertical bar with the rest of the lineup. And that makes the process a lot easier. Even though our client doesn't need it, we're going to add our enhancements, just a little bit of pencil, just to give it more of a pop. Make everything stand out a little bit more. And then we're going to add our enhancements with our enhancement card and our black spray. We're just lightly spraying. About 2 times. Moving on. Put a little vertical bar. And so now I'm about to lean them back to use the razor. I don't blend the enhancements in with my clippers because I feel like there's too much wear and tear on the skin for real. Because I do have very sharp clippers. And the razor just brings everything together. With the razor blade, you just want to lightly touch the skin with it and go in a back and forward type range or type motion. You don't want to move it side to side because that's when the the razor will cut your client. And please don't put a lot of pressure. Just let the razor is sharp. The razor blade is a razor for a reason. Turn it slightly right down. The razor is gonna do what the razor is gonna do. It's gonna cut. It's gonna get that nice little ash line. It's gonna bring everything or conceal everything for real. So YouTube, this is the cut right here. A nice, clean, hot taper. And we did keep the hot taper low. See how these points from his vertical bars right here and right here stand out a lot more just because we kept the hot taper low. But it's a nice wavelength 1.5 hot taper. And this is the side that we was doing. Clean, sharp line, clean look. But it's HYB. If you're not handling your business, do what you're doing. And we out.